Hello, I just finished a video where I was talking about the cruelty of daily vlogging, basically, and I decided to make kind of a similar video in English because I know that there are people who are following me on social medias who can't understand Finnish. So the kind of a main question is daily vlogging a dying form of vlogging or vlogs? Well, on one hand, no, because there are always people who are willing to watch. There are always people who want to see other people living their everyday lives. Sometimes I wonder why, but since I'm one of those people who are interested about videos like that, wait up, I think. And that's not because there's not an audience. That's not the case. There is an audience. But there's also a growing minority of people who are only watching those videos because they're searching for ammo. They're trying to find bullets that they can use against those vloggers later. And if I generalize, there are two ways of making dailies. One is the kind of a chained my day form, if you can call it that, where you're only sharing those positive moments, only those good vibes. And that's your vlog. Only the good things that happened. Or if you're talking about something bad that's happened, they tend to come out as sugar-coated. And it's not that bad, really. Believe me, it's not that bad. No matter what it is. And then there's the other form, which is uncut, uncensorized form of daily vlogging. And for me, that's the most interesting one, because you actually meet the people. You actually meet that person who's talking to the camera when they are not censoring things. They're not trying to make it softer what it really is. And all that jazz. But it's the truth. If you're making dailies, for example, for a year, there will be bad days. There will be bad weeks. Maybe even bad months. Maybe the whole year sucks. But if you keep vlogging throughout that whole year, every day, it becomes really hard if you're trying to cover things. Well, basically you're making a false documentary of yourself during that year. Because if you don't allow those negative things to come out in a kind of a raw form, you're making something that, well, when you later watch that video, you're watching something that never happened. If you don't document everything. And for me, that's what daily vlogging is. It's documenting your own life. If you want to live for your vlog and only bring up those kind of good vibes and kind of crush down the rest and cover it, that's not, well, at least in my opinion, that's not the way to do it. But there are people who want to do it or like to do it, or people who instinctively chooses the softer approach because, well, maybe they don't want to upset people. Maybe they don't want to show that I'm not feeling well, mentally or physically. But one big reason why people choose that route, that they don't want to bring out certain things in any form, is that they don't want to give ammo to other people. And I'm not talking about trolls. I'm talking about those people who actually are searching for ammo. Maybe they know you, or most likely they know you in one way or another. And if you're talking about your, well, for example, your own personal bad feelings towards your own family, it becomes a problem, because there will be somebody who sees that video and tells those people that, by the way, he said or she said this and this about you. And what comes later. So people tend to hide it. Some people. Then there are people who are honestly talking about things. And it catches up them later. Or it catches them later. I don't know the right term for it. But anyway. And I've seen that happening too. But what comes to the thing I said earlier, I'm not talking about trolls. I'm not talking about those kind of faceless, voiceless people on the internet whose username is something like Cuntbuster2000. And with a username like that, I can't really take them seriously also. It's very, very hard to take them seriously with a username like that. I'm talking about people who really want to hurt you. If you're honestly talking about your feelings on a daily basis, you will stumble into people who are actually willing to hurt you. Mentally or, well, it's a rare case, but sometimes also physically. But mentally most of the time. But at the same time, I'm also a believer to the old saying that if the kingdom falls down because of words, that kingdom wasn't meant to last. That's kind of my take on it, or my personal take, my own personal attitude towards it. But I've done that too. I didn't want it to show certain things about my life, certain phases in my life. And that's actually when I stopped uploading these. Or I stopped uploading daily vlogs. I'm still making daily videos, but those are for me. So what once was a public daily vlog is now a personal video diary. And that was the only way, or it felt that it was the only way to maintain that whole thing, that whole talking to the camera thing. And now I'm rambling. I've been rambling for about 8 minutes now, but there are nuggets of gold in that 8 minutes. You just have to find them. But that's kind of my main question that I've said, I think a few times during this video. Is an honest daily vlog really something that's going to be extinct because of people who can't handle the truth, or who are willing to use the truth as a weapon against those who are making vlogs? That's kind of my main thought, or my main question about the whole thing.